When I was younger, Hull City were always a Prem team, all floating in between the Premier League and Championship. But recently the team fell to League One in England and now could do the same because they are 24th. Rock bottom of the Championship and just sacked their last manager to go ahead and get the ex-Southampton and Reading boss. As today, a very badly created Ruben Selles takes over Hull City to try and take the Tigers back to the big time. As yes, people, here we are. Hull City need a rebuild, and this is the team we start with. Okay, not looking too bad. Is it good enough for the Championship? I mean, we do have some decent potential players. Hughes, Drama. This is going to be hard, though, for two reasons. Because some of our best potential players, Mohamed Baloumi and Miller, both have ACL injuries. And yeah, Rushworth, the goalkeeper as well, who are selected. And that means those three will not play Season 1 and won't grow anymore, which is bad enough for the team as it is. And also these players, Andy Smith, Harvey Cartwright, both are ex-Grimsby, as although they came on loan to us, Hull City are a bit of a rival, so this is going to be hard because I am a Grimsby fan. So trying to be nice with Hull is going to be difficult, but I'm going to do it as the first objective is simple: promote one youth player. For the first team as the second one, not so medium objective. It's actually quite hard. We must sell our first two players to be bid upon because Hull City last year sold their best in Jaden Philogene and Greaves, both going to the Premier League, as we also need to win the UCL title. That's the hard objective. And then we have this hidden one the owners might like. As you know what I like, I'll give it Hull. I like the formation. I like the players who were youthful as the tactic. We are going to be going wing play. Or do we? Because our best players are wingers and they're both injured, as we've only got one replacement really, Kamara, the right winger. We'll figure it out as we go along, as one thing I like about my wingers in this formation, they must be inside forwards. I don't even care who they are, and I don't care how they play it, as this is what we're going to go with. It is a 4-3-3, but a 3-4-3 with the ball, meaning Simmons will be crucial. And to be fair, he's only a young player. A lot of youth around this team, a lot more than I expected, and some experience in Omer and Melhem, who aren't too old. In fact, our only over 30 player is João Pedro, the striker, who I'm going to trust. As let's get into this. Our budget is 9 million, and the first lot of that, I'm going to trust our scout Jay Macy, or Massey, whatever. I'm just going to send one scout out Season 1 to England to find something, because don't forget we've got to sell players as punishment for a bad year last time out, and this is the worst. Our first bid is for our only fit good winger, Kamara, but then our second one, okay, I can live with this. Will Jarvis, 21, yet again he's another winger though. As goodbye to Kamara, I was excited about using him. As our leftover wingers is Cynic and Longman. They aren't too bad, but after I've made some position swaps, this could be our team. You can see I've changed up the midfield and I've put our two cams out wide. If we just train them as wingers, we could be pretty sorted, although it does take a while. For Marvin at least, so I think we do need to get one winger. Omer won't take too long, so at least that's a good sign for the right hand side. But yeah, the left wing and also the striker position, they need to be covered with 14 million to spend. And I want to carry on the youth approach, as I've just found a really good one. Elite Junior Krupi over at Lorient. He's currently not the best striker, but he will be in seasons to come, joining alongside another Lorient player in Mavuka. Both take rotational roles, both are very young, so fits in with our youth approach. As I think I'm going to save some money, I'll probably spend it in the next window, as all that's left to do right now is go and check our academy, as this year's intake probably one of the worst we've had. At least I'll try and make them work, but I think we need another youth intake before we get that special someone to grow with. Harley Eaton's done okay at Bohemian 61 rated, but our actual best still at the club, who's a youngster. Krupi, the striker, but when we flick to our highest rated, it is Ryan Giles, the left back. That's unusual. Didn't expect to see that, as our top scorer is Bedia. Longman got 15, surprisingly so, and then Umar. He did get 15, but he has been playing out of position, as we'll change him around, and it takes him to a 76. Good stuff as Mvuka. He's not grown as much as Krupi, but he will change to a 72. Another left winger this time. And as you can see, I've been training Miller. I've done the same with Balumi, but their ratings are going down due to their horrific injuries. Not done us a favour, as to be fair, Giles hasn't played. This team's been all around. What the heck is happening? Really confused with this one, right? And more. We'll shift over. We've got 274 rated goalkeepers, Rakiopi and Pandur, but Rakiopi has to go into the net, as who was the other midfielder instead of Regan Slater? I can't spot him down here. Who's played? I don't have a clue, but then Balumi, he's dropped to a 71. That's bad for the next Mahrez. And if you didn't realise, all our loan players did go back to their parent clubs, but still it's not a very bad season. Third in the championship. That's the top of the playoffs, and still 11 points in the end off Luton, but I will take that all day long. It's a building season. Do I expect promotion? No, and I don't expect any cups as well, as Arsenal win the FA Cup over Liverpool. We're a far way off that. We lost to Brentford 2-0 in round 3, fair enough, and lost to United in the Carabao, who eventually went on to win it. Fair play, as then the playoffs, we just get to see these straight away, because we do not make the final. Burnley beat us 3-0 in one leg, which is a shame, and we need a little bit more luck than that, as I know a way you guys could help us go lucky on this rebuild. If you do hit that like button, I would extremely appreciate this. Rebuilding a team that's a rival is kind of hard for me. It isn't Lincoln City though, not the fiercest rival we have, and also subscribe if you want more rebuilds. Bringing them at you thick and fast, as this season we don't have to sell any players, and 12 million given to us is good enough to go and shop with, as last year we relied upon loans across with some signing players, as this is our squad at the moment, and I think that looks very decent, as the players I want to bring in alongside these are going to be signings, obviously, but youth players. Because when you look down here, come on, we're never going to play Eton 61 rated. We could get someone that rated from the academy at 17 anyway. And I want to get a youth player early days in the championship, so he potentially could play. So I'm going to be sacking Jack Macy. Didn't find anything worthwhile. As you might have just heard my voices going, I'm actually going to spend most of our budget, or a quarter of it, on the Icelandic Thomas Hafsteinsson, sending him to England with a specific list of players to look for. As you can see, I'm going all over the field, and I've immediately not made any signings. I've gone straight to the youth, and we find the perfect player, a CDM in Max Finch. If I am going to rebuild a rival, I want a player that I can enjoy, and that man had the same name, so he is going to play for me alongside Simmons, who looks good. He's just come back from a loan at Stockport County, finding himself on the bench, as we only really need a bench centre-back, and maybe a first-teamer one, because Charlie Hughes I trust long-term, but Jones is 27, and he's one of the oldest in the squad. Alongside our midfielders, Alzate, who's 26, and Slater, 25, but I believe he's a homegrown player, so I want to give him a bit of a chance, maybe get someone to back him up. In Ignacio Souza, the Uruguayan central midfielder, running out of contract, as you can see. We can offer 2 million and maybe get his services. As 2.1, that's fine. I think he's going to grow to a tidy player, fixing up our midfield. But one thing I don't understand about this FIFA, how much youth players cost, because we're down to £1 million and we've only spent 2.1. Youth players' contracts are expensive. We do have a lot of players, and I believe Oscar Zambrano. Has something happened with this man in real life so he doesn't play? Well, I'm looking it up right now on my phone, and it says he got a doping breach, which doesn't sit well with me, so this lad's going on the transfer list. He's going to be leaving the club alongside Casey Palmer. We didn't need another cam. I mean, Melhelm is enough on his own. Who's also on the transfer list? The German that we can't play in the team. As there goes Oscar Zambrano, €8.1 million. return to Fulham, allowing us to sign up most contracts. I hate to say it, but they have to go. Harvey Cartwright and Andy Smith, they just won't play in this team at all. And now we've got 10 million left after signing everybody back up to the club, with the only player really required, a centre-back backup. As I'm going back for a player who didn't work out in our Celtic build, Ebane Boat. Let's see if we can get some potential out of him. And let's hope he's made a difference, eh? He's 23-year-old, 74 rated, not bad. That actually is close to Charlie Hughes. The first teamer at 22, 74 rated, alongside Jones, who's improving now he knows he's got pressure behind him. Simmons, not an improvement on Zambrano, unfortunately. Alzate could play there, and also our front three getting better with Krupi, still 19 years of age, now 75 rated. If only he was a youth player. Would have been brilliant for us. As also another player who was a bench one, Ignacio Souza, really has got a first team slot now. He's improved drastically as Melhelm. I loaned him out to Leeds United of the Premier League, so hopefully comes back with experience. And same said about the younger ones. Finch is 67 overall. Eaton's almost caught him. At least we know we've got midfielders up and coming. Vaughan doing okay at Shanghai Port as our top scorer, Mason Burstow. Now that's not a name I expected to see, as this is how the championship's gone this season, and yeah, it's the same story as the other one. Coventry City 3 points above us. Now that's a shame because we were in the same league last year, and Brentford, they run away with the league like Leeds United did it last term. Annoying, as in the FA Cup final, of course, we're nowhere near it. No fairy tale story. Round 4, loss on penalties to Forest as Aston Villa go and win the Carabao Cup. That's a bit of a fairy tale. Haven't won anything in a while as we lose to Crewe. I don't like that because my club Grimsby Town lost to them on the weekend as we beat Middlesbrough 3-2, so at least we are into the playoff final this year. It's going to be against Ipswich, and the Tigers beat the Tractor Boys 2-1 to secure Premier League status. Get in there. In real life, I know this team is definitely not worthy of League One level. It's worthy of the Premier League if it just got its coaching right, which is where we are now. We saved 10 million last season, only 44 million. I kind of wanted more than that. Around the 60 mark would have been nice, but still, we do have a team here worthy of staying up, as I've changed Sosa for Slater, but I still think we need a midfielder. Yes, Finch is on the come up, but I realised accidentally last season Alzate could be a good DM because he's not got played in centre mid, and it hasn't changed his rating, but still, I'm going to play him there. And Finch will be back up to him because I'm changing Javier Simmons. Yes, we do have a lot of centre backs, but I think he could be a really good one, and not one you actually expect, as on the bench, we've got good players. Balumi, Rakiopi, we've got our youth to get out, and yes, Melhelm is back. If we could change his position around, he jumps onto the bench, and oh my days, we're looking strong enough. I expect us to fully survive if we just get another central midfielder. But here is where the objective opens, the locked one, as with the onus being Turkish, we need 3 Turkish players in the starting 11, not on the bench and not in the reserves, as at the moment we do have one. We have Omu, who is the right winger, and Sinek. We could fit him onto the bench, maybe as that 8th slot, because come on, he's not going to really improve, so maybe we need some more Turkish players, or more than just the 2, as if this guy could be a centre mid. Omer Beyaz. Now, he doesn't really fit the formation though. I've just changed it around, but we could change it around again. And I also found this man, Livan Burku. Kind of don't want to change the shape at the moment. It has just got us back-to-back playoffs in the championship, so it is working. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave Sinek for this season on the bench and just bring one Turkish player in Can Uzun the Cam, a wonder kid I've used before in the Crystal Palace save on this channel, and one we can change the position of. I remember changing him to a striker, as he could go there 37 weeks, but instead I'm gonna go left wing. Think he could replace Mavuka, but I still don't want him to do so, as I've never been so confused. Do we just stick with the holding, or do we just add that Cam? Because we do have 2 good ones, as that does help Uzun, not Alzate, who who's just changed positions. And it doesn't help Finch, who of course is our youth player. Really confusing me now. We're in the Premier League, but if we can just survive, I'll probably loan Finch out and let's go again with the 20 million we still have left. As now we actually could replace Cynic with this man from the owner's other club, Fenerbahce Kırkemsettin, a 19-year-old regen player who could be great for the future. As speaking of the future, the other 5 million or so, I'm just going to put into contracts. And everybody signed up. You can see Finch is top of the list. Definitely not on his rating because that is poor for our youth player. Not happy with it at all. But when we look at the first team, come on, we've got to be surviving with the ratings you can see on screen. Beautiful, I would say. I'm a bit disappointed in Krupi's goals. Coming very close to Burstow, but he is an 81 at 20. Brilliant stuff. And then Ozun, he's even outscored him. I've got the same amount of goals as Umar is the front man. 80 overall. But oh my days, what is happening here? -1s all over the shop. I believe that comes from a bad manager rating, which isn't really concerning me because, of course, we can't get sacked now on career mode. As I'll make one change with Slater, and that is what's been playing mostly. Yeah, not very impressed. But then we do have Settin, who's a 76. Cynic hasn't improved. We'll definitely need another Turkish player going forward. But at the moment, can we improve at centre-back with Javier Simmons going up to a 77 with this position swap? If you are rebuilding Hull, I really suggest you make that swap. As why are we so upset? Why are we so negative? We survived in the Premier League. Sure, we should have done better. We took more defeats than Leicester City, but we are the team to survive. Coventry, Leicester and Burnley go down, and I'm happy with it. Yes, we don't go far in the FA Cup. Round 4 once more, and we lost to Birmingham City. Teams far below us, as Wolves even made a Carabao final. Showing you anything is possible, as a round of 16 lost to City. A little bit shameful, as do we charge for the Conference League next season? I actually don't know, because looking at the squad we have, potential in these two, in Ozun, Sosa, Hughes and Pandor. It's mostly our other centre-back and centre-mid that seem to be the issues. And I talk of 2 positions to sign, but this isn't a good sign, metaphorically, because £27 million in the Premier League. Needing another Turkish man, that's not going to be easy to spend. And plus we've got contracts to sign, plus we don't have a youth player. Doing very well, because Max Finch hasn't grown to the potential that we want him to do, but one who has potential to be special, Harley Eaton, 19-year-old, 70 rated. Maybe get him on loan another year and I'll try Max Finch, and then we'll go from there, see if we need to use the academy again. As currently in there from seasons before, players have grown, including Albert Peacock, who's another central 63 rated. I'll take him on board, I'll take him. We can try and shove him onto the loan list. But looking back at the team, we have got to sign a centre mid first. Also, Panda, I called him a player with potential. I thought he was younger than 27. Maybe another goalkeeper. Needed, as then we've got Simmons. We've got a lot of players in these reserves who we potentially could sell for a lot of money at this stage in the save. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is clear out time with a lot of players transfer listed, including both goalkeepers. Or all 3 goalkeepers, as I believe one of the first to leave is one of them. Oh no, it actually isn't. It's Matty Jacob, our left back. Closely followed by a player who I thought would work out in Miller. Then Lucas Bourne, because we're still loaning out a few young players. But here come the big losses again. This man just hasn't worked out for me. Ibane Boa, this time going over to Sporting Lisbon. Like Panda leaving the club, because he's going to Augsburg, not Sporting. Still, that's our sales done, and let's have a look at our new budget. Oh my days, I thought it was 77. It's 57 million, in fact. And that is a lot of money, but we know which position we now need. Goalkeeper, first and foremost, that has to be covered immediately. Then we can move to centre mid if we do have the money left over. As the whole point in selling Panda was to get somebody younger. And this man, Almeida, yes, he doesn't seem like he has much potential, but keepers stay around for a long time, so I'm hoping he can grow. He's at least got 10 seasons in him. And that's 49 million spare for a midfielder who doesn't have to be Turkish, can be anybody. And if you've watched this channel for a while now, you know who my favourite centre mid is. And we've gone ahead and got him on a cheaper fee, João Gomes. I honestly love this man, and yes, Wolves may be struggling in real life, but I've just changed him to a centre mid and his rating's gone to an 85. Also convinced, yes, we've got another 85 in the squad and an 86, but this guy Mavuka, has he ever not been injured for us? 82 now at 25. He's knocking on a little bit. We've got Kruby, who was a good investment. Uzun, Sosa. The bench even looking smarter. We've got Simmons now at an 80. A very decent backup keeper. And then Setting at an 80. He's ready to take Umar's spot as look at all these ratings. Now, lateral collateral ligament damage. He's unable to play for 8 weeks. Okay, it's been a while on him as I want to see ratings. Of Eaton, one of our young players. I thought he was at Crystal Palace then. But no, Khan, as Peacock's already overtaken Finch. Right, could Peacock be our player? He's been on loan at Darmstadt. Just need one of them to grow, probably bench worthy to get in the team. As 12 goals for Uzun. Is that enough to do something decent? In the Premier League, well, I'll tell you for one, it is. Because a 6th place finish, joint on points with Aston Villa, should put us into Europe, fingers tightly crossed, and with our team. If it is the Europa League, are we good enough to win it? With just a few more signings, as I thought Burnley had won the final then. Still no bloody luck in all these cup competitions we play in. Then again, a quarter-final of the Carabao, narrowly beaten by Liverpool, who were the eventual winners, 2-0 over Fulham. And will it be Europa League? Because I just need to look at this team again. As I'm trusting the keeper for now, so maybe a centre-back is our next option to buy. The Tigers on tour, or as I thought was on tour. Because continental success, we don't have anything to go off of. I know I am an English person, I know I watch a lot of English football, but I will never get my head around how the cups work and everything. I am a lower league fan, as I'm a fan of this team, apart from Jones, of course, who we need to replace. That is first priority. As Simmons on the bench, who's 25, has took over him in rating, but still I want someone else, and I want someone else quickly. As another player worthy of playing now is Kerem Setting, 21-year-old. Now he's hit an 80, which is better than Omer, 29, 81 rated, and Ballumi, who I had such high hopes for. Coming into this rebuild just hasn't worked, and the budget, 46 million. It is stinky once again. So as I go to loan all the loan boys out, which we're doing again, I want to get these right. I'm gonna have to transfer list a few players like Ballumi himself. Alfie Jones I will transfer list, and I'll also transfer list Simmons, just to test the waters, see which bid comes in highest. As I can't lie to you, losing patience with that budget. Come on, we've got to get more money in the future, because the players we're selling don't reach 1 million. Terrible money for Callum Jones, and then it is literally the loan boys. A repeat of last season, as Bourne goes out to Sittard, Finch goes to Westerlo, at least he's still growing somehow. Slowly but surely, as Juve take Alfie Jones off our hands. And a surprising one to me, just with the fee we've got for him, is Mohamed Ballumi. Look at that, 26.6. Had Everton's pants down, as now £86 million. And now I actually think we can keep one of our youth players, maybe Eaton, at the club, as Alzate can stay on the bench, because Simmons will drop down when we get a centre-back in, which is going to be straight away. We need to try and push for the Champions League, without going out there and signing like a Champions League winner already, as Levi Colwill could be good. I mean, he's only £37 million. And yes, he's a left footer, but we could trial him on the right. As yes, he's cost more than I'd want to pay, 52 smackaroonies. But improves the team on the whole, as Hughes is actually right footed. I didn't know that. I've been playing him on that side thinking it would help him, but no, he's actually better on that side. That is my mistake partly, as I don't want to change any more first teamers. I have faith in our Turkish men to still grow, and maybe work on the bench, because Coyle, one of the club captains or leaders, isn't doing well, and one player who used to play for Hull is Andrew Robertson, now old and cheap at Chelsea. Welcome in, Andy mate. It is good to have you back at the Tigers, as here is picture confirmation he did play for them. As here's also confirmation on a tall backup striker, the only other position we needed, Good Johnson, the Icelandic. And this time I thought I'll try something differently. I'll look at the top scorers, because we haven't had one in a hot minute. And then I see Can Uzun sitting third under Hakpo and Haaland, but no one else on the list. However, we do have a man who can score now. A good sign, as we'll jump straight to ratings from looking at that. And of course, he's the highest rated, 88 overall. Should be pushing for the Champions League, as the second top scorer was Group B, who I really thought I'd get more out of. Then again, done very well. Same as Setting, 85 rated. He's gone +5 this season. As well, he got more game time and less goal involvements. Or goals scored. I know I just went to say that differently, as look at this team. Now the signings are shining through. We've got Colwill on the left-hand side. Almeida's done more decently, but more than that, Charlie Hughes. Finally on his favoured side, and 91 pace as a centre-back. Just shows when you play a player, actually in his position he does good, as these are our positions out on loan, or our youth players should I say. Peacock's come on leaps and bounds. I'm really impressed with how he's shone through, but the best player in this academy, Harley Heaton, who hopefully we face in Europe, as it has gone through. We've gone into the Champions League, no doubt about Europe this year. We've done it. Oh, come on. I really thought we do have a team for a cup right now, or at least a cup run. Round 3 lost to Brentford. We should have goal scoring power, especially when Brighton's winning the Carabao Cup. We exited to them 1-0 yet again in the third round. Not good, as on my days. Who just won the Super Cup? West Ham United, and they were the Europa League winners. Paris won it last year, Atleti and Real in the final. Can we replace a Madrid team? And can we actually go for it next year? Here's to hoping so, because when you look at the first team we have, it's definitely good enough to do so. Krupi now at an 88. If only I could actually score, you know, in-game as the bench as well. Not looking too awful, especially when we get Eaton back. Burstow could exit it, as he could even do it right now for Peacock. Look at that. But more importantly, look at this. How do we actually improve it? Because we should get a big budget. We could go goalkeeper, but our goalkeeper is Turkish. Then again, we have 4 Turkish players, because Setting is in the team. Umar is on the bench. He's 30, but he's still a bench-strong player. And Uzun is in the team, so Almeida could come out. We could also sign another left wing instead of Mavuka, who might have run his race, as what's the budget for the Champions League? 107 million. Finally, it steps up. The owners reached into their pockets, as we're expected to win it. Yes, we do have a good striker and a cam, but seriously? Winning it is a big demand, as we can sell some of these players, of course. Ryan Giles, though, I don't really fancy selling one of our English talents. Being an English team, but what we've just got for Mavuka, 99.3 million from West Ham United. Take him and don't come back. Seriously, just show me that money. As we might not even have to sell our goalkeeper Almeida now. We could just sell Rakiopi, use Almeida on the bench. Yeah, I think this could actually suit us. He's got a good move to Sunderland as goalkeeper and winger needed. We literally could split this, go 103 million on each and build an amazing team. But you know me, I'm going to be crafty. I'm going to try and look for a goalkeeper who's high rated but cheap. And Thibaut Courtois. Monitored him for a while now. I just think he is plain and simple great, and plus just past his prime. The smallest bit, as he's 87 rated still, giving us 180 million to go and replace Longman with. Feel sorry for the youngster. I believe he came through the academy. As we're gonna go big, whoever we pick. Who's the options? There is Kilishkoy, actually, who shouldn't be too expensive, but he's Turkish, and you know, that does fit in with our philosophy. But the man I've had my eye on is actually still, funnily enough, at Napoli. Never moved moves on, this man. I thought he was at City. It is Kvicha. Signing only Turkish players reminded me of Georgia versus Turkey in the recent Euros, of course. And then this man, the best player from either of those nations. And then Aronson as a backup cam. And Ivan Azon as a backup goal scorer. As the team is definitely 80 plus. That is Champions League worthy if it plays to its potential, as I'm going to be aggressive with it. Kvicha and Krupi works out, them two will press. And it is hard staring at this. This is at the end of the season, by the way. Look at some of our players. You can see off the bat, there is 90 times 3, 88 times 3 as well. We've got some 86ers, 87 and 89. Captain Charlie Hughes has been so good. Even on the bench, Good Johnson, who we brought in last season, going up. Almeida has played. And Simmons, 85 rated. Him as a centre-back, unbelievable. As, oh my days, this other view. I said oh my days again, I know, but look at our top 3 players. Krupi's 23-year-old, by the way. And yes, he hasn't scored as many goals as Azon, which is weird. 27-year-old scored 10. But Ozun's up there, setting. Kvicha is at the top, and 59 games played. Is that telling us something? Something potentially about more games, as look, how can we ask for more points? Because 2 draws and then 36 wins for Hull City. 110 points. It's the most we've ever done it on since the last video on the channel, where we rebuilt prime Manchester United. For it to be on par with that, unbelievable, as that is an unbeatable season. And a trophy, as you can see, we don't win the FA Cup though. Should have been in that final, but the team actually to beat us is Burton 2-1. Can you actually believe that scoreline? The second round we enter as Newcastle win the Carabao Cup, as we lost on penalties after a 3-3 on aggregate. Seems we don't like a cup competition, but we definitely like a league table, as it's 8 wins out of 8 in the Champions League phase. The players just like to be consistent, don't like one-off games, don't like putting it in, as we only just got past Sparta to get to Real Madrid, and oh my days, 1-0 in the home leg means we put 4 past them at the Bernabeu. Now that is Champions League worthy. Usually the team you play in the final, as we hammered into 5-1 to get Barcelona. Okay, we've beaten their rivals Real Madrid already, as I'm going to take a rival of the team I support into the UCL final with this team you see in front of you. Our lowest rated player as well. I don't know if you did get a glimpse of the bench. Unfortunately, Andrew Robertson, an ex-player who returned back to the club. It was nice to see him, you know, but Giles, man, he's so good, and he should be going forward with our tactics, which have worked very well for us. Giles towards the back post. It's not out just yet. It's Uzun through bodies. And 3 minutes into the game, it's 1-0. It's a Turkish player. It's the Cam, the Wonder Kid, Can Uzun. That's caught me off guard. Literally 3 minutes in the game as well. Come on, give us a better view. That's a class finish as well. This is the other angle. It's a clearance by Eder Militao. Taps it on the half volley. Bang! Side netting. Perfect start to the game. We've just got to keep fighting. Charlie Hughes. Now it locked me onto the bad passing, but it's worked out, as now it's up front. Krupi, can he prove himself? The number 13. That's maybe why he hasn't scored many goals, but in game, he looks good. Into Canelzun. Should have had the rebound as a free kick. I don't know what for, and Canelzun's going to take it over the wall. Deflection. Looks up for it, though, as Areu. Rafinha, come on, get a foot on this ball. Now, don't let them back in the game. That's an easy pass through, but a better tackle, Hughes. Unbelievable from the Hull City lad, who's a really good player in real life for the future, has now set in another player potentially for the future if we don't win this final. Hang the ball up towards the back stick. Very bad crossed-in ball, but it's going to fall to Sosa. A player I haven't spoke about, and that might fall to us again. It might fall again for Krupi. Just can't get the shot off, and yeah, apart from the goal, really. As into the second we go, and it's Kvicha with the tackle straight away. Now Gomez, come on, let's just get playing. Gomez out to the right back. Cody Drammer been here from the start, and we really do need an extra goal before they attack us. Eder Militao somehow playing for Barcelona. It's fallen to Feature. Didn't know Coble had come out of his net. To smother us, kind of surprised me. I thought he was the player further back on the line as a tackle. Ryan Giles, he doesn't just go forward, you know, as Ozun. Look at the feet, and that is a ball to replete Kirby, or release him, should I say. Ball into the box, and it's not saved. It's a second goal, Hull City. It's got to be setting the right winger. All from that Ryan Giles tackle on Vini, which was amazing. And then Krupi did the rest. The low-down cross. And should the keeper really save this? Yes, in my opinion. Coble's let it in. Still, we've got moments to go, and Barca can definitely score too. We've conceded late in some finales recently on the channel. Just got to make sure it doesn't happen again, as look at that for a ball. We should get another one. Look at this. Broken through. It is Kvicha. That's got to be handled. Eder Militao. What are you doing? Don't need a second replay. We've just got to put away the penalty, as that circle's pretty big. Oh dear, Krupi. You know how bad it is when you can't see the ball because of the graphic in the top corner. As oh dear, you know how bad it is when they go through and that skews off. The captain's going to get sent off. I really had to try and stop the counter, and yeah, he's not going to lift it. Shame, really, for Charlie. We've been dominant, and now we miss him because we actually need to do some defending. Barcelona keeping the ball here. Sissoko with a ball into the box. Lamal misses his header. I mean, he's not really built for headering a ball. As Krupi, come on, get another assist. That's a handball, but it falls to Kvicha. Kvicha versus Coble. That's a story of the second half, as now Krupi set in. Can he try and set another player up? He tries to, but to no success, as then they clear the ball, and a bittersweet feeling winning the Champions League with Hull City. A rival team for me, if you ask me, being a Grimsby Town fan, but I hate Lincoln more, so yeah, I don't feel too bad. Hull City fans, I know you need a lift. As speaking of lifts, it's going to be Courtois stepping in for Hughes, who, to be fair, is behind him at the side of him. Just took the captaincy off him, but he has come out of the changing rooms, as there goes T-Bone. As if you do want to see another rebuild, maybe your team's struggling in real life, comment them down below or click my hands for a rebuild on the channel already.